We can go ahead and call this meeting to order. Generally do roll call, please.
Mike Dolson, Tom McDonald,
Une.
Jamie Pliff, she's running late. Greg DeMontier, Carol Langford, Danielle Matt,
Here.
Bing Matt, James Steele Jr.,
Yes.
Martin Charlo, Len Two Teeth, Lanice Trahan.
Bing, can you start us out with a prayer this morning?
Feminine School student. We thank you, Creator, for the blessings that you give us today. We thank you for watching over them people that have lost loved ones and giving them strength to deal with their losses, Father. We just thank you for everything that you do, and we thank you for watching over the, our elder that we lost, Kevin Sperry. We just thank you for watching over her and blessing the family and keep strong with their loss. Father, we just ask that you watch over give us the strength or give us the blessing today and what we're to do with the business that's at hand today with here, Father. And we just ask that we make the right decision for the people here today. And Father, Lord, we just ask that you watch over our men and women in the armed services, Father, and keep them safe, Father, Lord. And we just ask you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Go ahead and review minutes for April 14th. Go ahead, Tom.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I don't have any corrections, so I'd make the motion to approve the April 14th council minutes with any corrections.
Tom, I've got a correction that I can email Abby to amend your motion for corrections. And Tom, the motion to approve minutes with corrections. Anybody second? Len for a second. All in favor? Unanimous. Agenda for today, we've got 3 walk-ins. Any council additions to the agenda? Yes. Motion by Len, second by Carol to approve the agenda with the additions. All in favor? Unanimous. Looks like we'll go ahead and go to Leroy first.
Good morning, council. I came here today just to let you guys know that I was selected for a new position at gaming, just for the hotel, not for 100 horses. So I'll be working under Lewis. My last day here at DHRD will be next Thursday. So I just wanted to come and let you guys know, thank you for everything that you have done with security and the trainings and the guidance that you guys gave us throughout the years of me coming in and asking for different things and how to do things and where to go. It was time for me to move on to something different.
Go ahead, Len.
Thank you. And Leroy, congratulations on your new position. You know, while you were employed here, I know you built a lot of programs here. You were an intricate part of Anchorway, making sure that we were successful there as long, while it lasted. So I want to just thank you for your service here. And I know that you're going to be providing a lot of expertise and integrity to the SK gaming operations over there. So once again, thank you, and we wish you the best over there.
Leroy, thank you for coming in and letting us know. I know I'll definitely miss you. I can just give you a call and you can help me navigate that big system over there, DHRD. So truly be missed, but we really wish you the best on your new adventure and you'll be a great asset to SNK Gaming.
Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
Next we'll go to Zach. And Zach, this is an executive, is that correct? Yes, okay, we'll go out of regular into executive.
Tribal member. And I worked with him for years in highway construction. And he was the only one who gave me a bid when I was looking for bids. On the one picture here in front, you'll see where there's a little yellow square and then the red that's around the top of the dance pavilion. That's where the walls are gonna go. And the reason I want a little retaining wall there is because when it rains or when we even irrigate for grass, that clay and stuff washes down onto the walkway. And so, it could be a hazard for, our participants and people that's coming to visit. And so I'd like to get that done. The other marks on there, the blue and the red, those are the things we've gotten done so far. That's fencing that's around where first thing I want to do is eliminate the car traffic from the foot traffic. So we moved everybody back away from the buildings and such. If you go through the pictures, number 2 is the one where the wall's going to go, the picture number 2. And that little purple mark, in the bid, I had a drainage put in, a French drain. And so that's going to connect to the existing French drain that comes off the roof of that building. Also, last picture. Picture number 4 is I eventually want to get the celebration grounds fenced off. So it'd be easier to manage the place as far as keeping it clean and weed free and such like that. And picture number 3, you see where the red is down by where the 3 is. I would also like to get that maybe this year, would be nice, is a walkway coming from the bathrooms there by the sticking pavilion, go all the way out to the sidewalk. And that's about 60 feet. I had Top Gun come out there and he looked at the place and I haven't got a bid back from him yet. And the other red mark that goes down by the sticking pavilion, it'll be a walkway down to the sticking pavilion so contestants and visitors can get up to the bathrooms easier. Right now, that's a lot of this is still work in progress as far as getting the grass growing and dirt free. When it rains, we can keep the dirt away from the sidewalks. Are there any questions?
Go ahead.
What is did you ever get any linseed oil for the pillars on the dance pavilion? Because I noticed that the woodpeckers were getting into those pillars and.
Yes, as a committee, I talked to the other committee members who is Loretta Hoots and Bev Michelle, is we went out and purchased it ourselves. We purchased 55 gallons of walrus oil, they call it. And it's some of the best oil you can get for treating logs. We treated the dance pavilion logs. There's one log there that down the road's gonna need replaced because it's really been infected by the woodpeckers. The little mites get into the wood and the woodpeckers go after them. So that one's pretty chewed up, but we got that treated last year, Lynn.
Yeah.
And we did order it. I bought 55 gallons so we can treat the logs, every other year or every year. It was cheaper to buy it in a 55-gallon drum than buy the 5-gallon
What was the
piece.
cost of a 55?
$3,500.
Wow.
When SK Technologies got their little board together and when you guys, I think some of you guys came out when we inspected the power grounds. You know, we had a to-do list of what needed to be done. They were gonna buy it and they only bought 5 gallons and, 5 or 10 gallons, and what they bought was pretty, wasn't the best to purchase. Wasn't a very good purchase. And then Lands got a hold of it, and I think they bought 5 gallons of that walrus oil. I suggested they get it because it was the best to get. And when I researched this, I talked to a lot of people who treat logs, homes and stuff like that. And that was one of the biggest ones that everybody agreed that it was the best kind of oil to treat outside logs with. So that's why I went and bought it. It was a little more expensive, but it was well worth it.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate you guys purchasing that out of your own pocket, but I think that was should have been the responsibility of the lands department or facility and maintenance. So at some point in time, I would like to see you guys reimbursed.
Yeah, and you know, since I've been out there with them for, I don't know, 5 years or so, we also got electrical work done on our vendor stations that are permanent buildings. We got electrical work done there. We purchased new equipment in each of those buildings, griddles, commercial type griddles for the cooks and stuff when they rent our facilities. We purchased glass front refrigerator type things to keep their stuff cool in. We put in, you know, fire blankets, all the things to take care of whoever might be renting from us, trying to eliminate, you know, any kind of hazard that might be out there. And I've worked really hard. The committee did as far as, you know, getting the pace, the place out there paved, you know, the walkways and such like that. Because my main goal is when I got on, is that if we build our facilities that's going to handle the elders and handicapped people, you know, we got to make it safe for them. If we take care of those two categories, we take care of everybody that comes. And over the years, we've got a lot of comments that, you know, we have a nice place out there. And I'd like to thank the council for the money they put in out there. That's a lot of money that's sitting out there at the celebration grounds. It's expensive, and my main goal is, you know, to upkeep it, you know, as a committee, part of the committee. I understand, you know, maintenance and lands, they have a lot of things to do, and it might be forgotten or whatever. But as a committee member, I want to make sure we keep that place looking nice and continuously upgrading it. And, you know, the better you take care of the place, you know, the less maintenance cost and more dancers and drummers and visitors are going to come out. So that was, you know, that's my goal on being on the committee. Thanks, Len.
I definitely appreciate you coming in and appreciate this request. What we've done down on the south end with the celebration committee is we've got the meeting with Lance and with our financial people. There's a team that's kind of working to make sure finance is in order and we can make these big projects go through. I'm thinking that maybe we do a similar committee for the Elmo grounds. And perhaps you might want to join them this afternoon. They meet today at 3:30 here. I can get you in contact with Greg, but I think we need to, I guess, Tom, do we need to have finance look over this request for this amount of money?
Yeah, I'm sure directly, it has to fit whatever we appropriate unless we do a special appropriation. But I'm not sure what the work plans were with Lands Department out there for this season. But again, yeah, that consultation would be great to have.
Yeah, when I started this process, you know, I've been working with Len, Councilman Two Teeth, and, you know, checked, I was inquired on what the budget was for upkeep of the celebration grounds in Orly and in Elmo. And he checked into that and gave me a money amount of what the tribes have set aside for upkeep of these facilities. And that was a lot of help, on trying to for me to get out there to do bids, call people and stuff like that. And knowing, the parameters of what possibly the tribes would spend, tribal council and lands or maintenance, whoever. But it's the end on the side for us as a celebration committee, we take it upon ourselves to get what we want and need, and this is a need, not a want. And it's about safety, as well as aesthetics. So, they all blend together, and I think it'll be a good addition for safety especially.
Go ahead, Len, and then Greg.
Yeah, I also appreciate the fact that you're coming in here and trying to get this done way before the powwow, rather than waiting. I know in the last couple of years, we all scrambled around the last couple of weeks to try to get stuff done, and knowing the importance of this, I appreciate you coming in and trying to get this addressed, because we do need to get this done. It's been something that's needed for a couple of years now, and you addressed that back then. So,
And actually, the tribes did pay twice to get that done, and it's still not done for the money the tribes spent to get it done and get it done efficiently, it wasn't done
okay.
efficiently, and the people that were in charge are the people that got those contracts to do it properly. It just never happened, and so that's one of the reasons as a committee we want to be involved in that part, to make sure when the tribes spend money out there in Elmo that it's spent efficiently, and the contractors that come out knowing we're keeping an eye on them. And if we could see things as a layman, then, I think it's a good thing for not only the committee, but the community and for the tribes as a whole when they spend money.
Okay. I think the first thing we need to do is have Greg look at this to make sure that we do not have unobligated funds and that we can use for this. And so if that's the case, that's something we get right on it.
Go ahead, Greg.
Thanks for coming in, Mr. Michelle. The next meeting that we have set, I think the next meeting that we have set with our league group is set for next Tuesday at 2:00, and we should be wrapping up around 3 or 3:30. And I would welcome or extend the offer for you and your committee to come in around 3:30 on Tuesday of next week, because the RLE side is singly focused in on that first weekend in July. We have that list of projects that lands and a variety of different groups are single-mindedly focused on accomplishing before the RLE powwow begins. And I think that to in a parallel world, focus in on that third week of July for the Standing Arrow celebration is an appropriate use of that committee's time. And we can focus directly in on this project as one of the priorities. Hear out whatever other priorities you have, so that third week in July is just as the committee would like for it to be, and that we can be prepared in advance and not scrambling at the last minute, and meet the committee's needs and meet what I believe is council's expectation for a successful and good event. Can I send you the email and the invitation to come next week? No, may I send you the email and invite you to the meeting next week so that we can talk about all these things together? I'll make sure, sir. Is it Bear Paw something? I gotcha. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, Tom, go ahead, Tom.
Thank you, Danielle. Yeah, hey, Leonard, thank you for coming in. What's really important here, we look at these facilities like this, is that when you have something nice, you build something brand new, that you take care of it. You put that money into it every year to keep it up. So often we build something new and then forget about it. And then there's that ongoing maintenance isn't occurring. And then it deteriorates pretty soon. It's in a state where it's a major cost for us to replace or rebuild or improve or whatever it might be. So I really appreciate Leonard's eyes out there on the facility and the work that you do. It makes it a better ground. So I just want to say thank you.
And then what we do as a committee out there, being volunteer, you know, we're your face as a council, not just the community and the community members, but what council spends out there. So, you know, it's important to me that the place, you know, reflects on the money you guys spend and what you guys put into our celebrations. It's important. So I take that very seriously, and that's why I go forward on my own and try to get these things done, you know, and talk to the appropriate people to get it achieved. Because, like I say, you guys spend a lot of money on these grounds. I mean, even that stick-in pavilion you guys put in, wasn't cheap. You know, I know the cost. I know I was there every day when they were building it, when they were laying the asphalt and when they were putting up the building. And there's a couple of things I saw out there that should have been done that they didn't do, and I brought it up. And it wasn't done, and after it was all over, they had to end up going in there and doing what I suggested to begin with. It's just how things happen sometimes. I'm fortunate enough, I worked enough places in construction and stuff that you know, I can see a lot of things as a layman point of view that are critical to the tribes as well as, you know, what you guys put into out there. So I don't mind sticking my neck out sometimes. Not everybody agrees, but you guys know who I am. Most of you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Leonard, for coming in this morning. Guess anybody else got anything on this subject, or are we gonna move to Zach? Right, thank you, Leonard. We'll go ahead and take our last walk-in. It'll be Zach with MVP and executive, and then I'll pass, we'll go back into executive. I'll pass this over to Vice Chair Jamie.
Good morning, Council.
Good morning.
So today I'm here to ask for the approval of a resolution to advertise a sale of timber for a timber sale that will be known as the Tadpole Logging Unit, which is located in the front.
Just a minute, Josiah. Jen?
Josiah, I never did receive your resolution or any backup. All I have is just the sheet that you have on the front.
Okay,
So I just,
no resolution for Tadpole.
nope, you didn't send nothing. This is all you had inside the agenda request form. So I said
I
to
did.
you guys,
Hey, it's Pat here. I'll send it over right now. I did send it over to Abby. She got my resolution, but I could resend it real quick.
Okay. Okay, thanks, Jen. Go ahead, Josiah.
All right, sorry about that. So resolution to approve sale of timber in the frog management area. This sale will have 3 different sorts of timber: a Doug fir western larch, ponderosa pine and other species, and whitewoods. There's approximately 6,682 tons of Doug fir western larch, 826 tons of ponderosa pine and others, 1,073 tons of whitewoods, for a total of 8,581 tons. The minimum bid rates have been set at $14 per ton for Doug fir western larch, $2 per ton for ponderosa pine and others, and $5 per ton for whitewoods, with a total value of $141,818. This sale will encompass about 233 acres within the frog management area, 59 acres of evenage, 27 acres of WUI treatments, and 147 acres of uneven age thinning. There's quite a bit of road work involved with this sale. The roads are pretty deteriorated in that area. It's all listed out here: about 7.5 miles of light prep, 5 miles heavy preparation, a little bit of new road construction, and then standard periodic and final maintenance for a total of 15.72 miles. of road work. Cattle guard maintenance, culvert installations and maintenance, it's all pretty standard stuff. Some road lifts to keep roads from washing out and mitigate some water issues. And that's about all I have.
Thank you for that information. Greg? And then Len.
Yeah, just kind of curious. I'm assuming that the action, for the resolution is basically just to formally kick into gear something that has already been approved by the council, in terms of the, this sale. That's part of an overall plan that the council has already approved. Is that correct? I'm not sure how this process works.
So
Go ahead, Josiah.
we require a signed resolution and a signed advertisement to be able to have our FOR signed and sent off to the region and the superintendent so that they will be able to sign that and kind of finalize that timber sale process so we can advertise and sell it.
I guess I understand that part. I mean, that's where we're at, right?
Yeah.
But in terms of what got us here, the very early stages of it, I'm assuming that all of the reviews and all that kind of stuff has been done from a wildlife standpoint to the water to cultural preservation to whatever, right? And that has all come forward to the council. And the council has basically looked at all that stuff, and while the final action to advertise the timber sale has not taken place, this is part of a council action that has already taken place and has reviewed the sale for all those compliance issues.
I don't think it's council action. I think that the staff does all of that, the requirements. Am I?
Could I,
Go ahead, Pat.
can you guys hear me all right?
Yes.
Yeah, so we go through the interdisciplinary team to basically create an alternative for any type of action we're going to do. It's my understanding that I don't know if it was back in the 90s, and some of the council members could probably speak on it, but it's my understanding that we used to bring multiple alternatives to council, and then they would pick an alternative. But it got to a point where it became a directive to that say, okay, you guys are professionals, you guys figure out your mitigations, work it all out, and then just pick. It's basically between two alternatives, an action or a no action. And then so that's kind of how we handle it. And then we do have public review, and I know that that as council members, you are part of that IDT. You should be receiving emails that keep you posted on all that. But yeah, I don't know when that changed, but that's kind of how the process goes.
Did you want to, do you know who is all on the interdisciplinary team? If I remember correctly, it had cultural and everything that would cover a sale.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's you kind of go through there's preservation, there's the heads of the culture committees, there's wildlife, there's hydrology, so all of NRD, and then there's forestry, fuels, and then we do a culture clearance for anything that we do as well.
Thank you. Carol?
And it happens once a month, usually the IDT. I try to attend once in a while. Also, there's a forest management plan that drives this whole process. And I don't know when the last time that came in. It's a 10-year plan, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we're currently almost wrapping up the update on it.
Okay, thank you. Do we have motion by Martin to get approved permission to advertise the timber sale in the frog management area? Seconded by Bing. All in favor? Greg?
Abstain.
Okay. I- 7-4, Greg abstain. James?
Yes.
Okay, 8-4. Motion passed.
Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to make a statement for the record that the reason for my abstention is that I was not on the council when the earlier planning stages for this took place. I have not seen any of the information myself, and the Evero area is a sensitive area. So not having access to that information, that's why I'm abstaining.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Josiah.
Yeah, I will add, if at request, we can supply that information, and a copy of the draft environmental assessment is always provided to the council.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
We have Craig, Barry, Lynn, a whole group. Come on up.
Good morning, Madam Chair and rest of the council.
Good morning.
We are here this morning to present the Native Fish Keepers Annual Fiscal Year 25 report to you. For the new council members, Native Fish Keepers is a nonprofit corporation we set up in 2017 to sell some of the fish that we're harvesting out of Flathead Lake to offset part of the cost of lake trout suppression. We have all of our board members here today. Evan Smith is the chair, Tracy McDonald, as well as Bill Fauster on the board. Cindy Benson is our CEO, but if you haven't heard, her father had a unfortunate accident, and so I believe she's in Kalispell today with him. But I'll turn it over to Evan to present our report to you, which should be on pages 4 through, or the report is actually on pages 5 and 6, and we're all here to answer any questions.
Thank you, Lynn. Go ahead, Evan.
Morning, everyone. To keep it simple, looking at page 5, we're not digging into everything, just wanted to say the basics here. We had 11,000 pounds, so we almost got $95,000. I'm looking at the table here. We have the lake whitefish and the lake trout. The lake whitefish is just a bycatch, and we found that we can actually make a little bit of a profit off that. But the big target is obviously the lake trout here in the gray. We are seeing some signs that we're slowly starting to reduce the numbers and the amount of just this size. So that is one reason that we have the total pounds of the value that we've sold has decreased a little bit. We have seen a little bit of increase in the whitefish. That might have been just adjusting our nets just to try different areas for targeting. On page 6, not going to get into the giant weeds of this. Basically, each quarter we'll see a little bit differences because we're on different seasons we're netting when we're having our fish tournament. But every single year we've seen some good improvement in our numbers. We can see a little bit of a decline, and that's hopefully some good news in the results in the long run. And we have Barry here that can throw you all the details of the signs of the stress that we're seeing in our fish. Like I said, I don't want to get into the weeds here. Just wanted to point out why in the heck is Cindy doing some money here. That was just a refund on taxes. We're not actually paying her on the side or anything like that there. That does look a little funny. We do have the name of the company that we work with for the auditing, and that's thrown on there. So not digging into too much in the weeds. We're still having a great year. This is about a decade-long program, and it's doing great to reduce the costs of this problem that we're going to be dealing with.
What is Pro Label?
That is the labels that we put on our packages. So we get the,
That makes sense.
yeah, the lake trout and the lake whitefish labels from them. And actually, they just solicited our business this past year and they were like a third of the cost of the Missoula outfit we were using. So unless they skyrocket, we'll probably stay with them.
And they got a great design. It looks nice for the product to show us locally that we're selling these.
Greg, and then Tom?
Yeah, I'm just curious. I noticed that the overall sales in terms of dollars peaked in 23 and at about 148,000 and has then dropped in 24 to 104 and then last year down to 85. I'm just curious as to whether or not that is a matter of pounds or a matter of price or a matter of both.
It's a matter of pounds, and it's a reflection of the price of success, in that we are succeeding at suppressing lake trout. That's our target. The current estimate is about a 30% reduction in the population. So in the earlier years, we had very good harvest and we can't keep up with demand anyway, but even in the good years, we couldn't keep up with demand. But the harvest was substantial. With declining population, they're getting harder and harder to maintain that level of harvest. But this is a program that goes on in perpetuity, so we have to stay with it so they don't rebound. But it'll never be the level of harvest that we had initially.
Thank you, Barry. Tom?
Big man, Vice Chair. I was gonna say the report smelled fishy to me, but sorry, I had to do that. The question I have, well, first of all, I want to thank the board members, Evan, Tracy, and Bill, for your volunteerism and stepping up and herding fish with these guys. The question I have is that bycatch. So knowing that we're hoping to fish, get ourselves out of business or costs are going to go up for suppression efforts as we dwindle the non-native abundance. That whitefish bycatch to me was always an underutilized non-native fishery that could help additionally put that suppression funding to balance or bring forward. So what is the interest level for that product?
It's very high. Initially, we thought that it would be higher than the demand for lake trout. But I think in part, our marketing has been effective enough where the public realizes that this is a conservation effort and they can, in a clear conscience, consume fish and have the sense that they're contributing to a conservation effort. So that message, I think, has gotten through and resulted in high demand for lake trout as well. But the demand is high for lake whitefish. And as lake trout decline and whitefish continue in their high abundance, I think that balance is going to change and we'll have more and more whitefish in the harvest. And that will help to offset our costs.
So you're predicting bycatch will go up?
Yes. To this point, we have essentially, we're targeting lake trout. That's our objective. And trying to minimize bycatch because that just slows us down on our target of lake trout. But again, as lake trout numbers are down, we'll have to accept more bycatch of whitefish.
Barry, could you explain the at least for the new council members what that population of non-native whitefish is in Flathead Lake and how are they utilized today?
They're the most abundant fish in the lake, and they've been there for 130 years, and they benefited from the introduction of mysis as well. And they are more resilient to harvest than our lake trout. And they're also very popular during the summer when the fishery picks up on them. They become more vulnerable to angling. But we expect, despite the popularity with the public and the level of harvest by them and the level of our bycatch, that their resilience will maintain that level of population, that we won't see much of a decline. And our data don't show much of a decline in whitefish. So there's always going to be that bycatch. And while it's not our target, it is a handy value that we're able to extract in the process to help benefit the program, offset our costs. Is that what you were looking for?
Yes, that's exactly it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Lynn.
Thank you all for coming in this morning. So I remember last year we were talking about the gill netting operations. Are we still operating off the reservation up north with our gill netting?
Yes, that's an important question. We began that last year and we had to work through some resistance. And we did that. And last September we started and we fished north September to December. And we had higher catches there, as we predicted, than we did in the south. And we resumed that harvest this spring. And our plan is to only fish north in the spring and fall because activity on the lake is less at those times. So we realized to succeed in the long run, we can't just fish on the reservation. We need to fish off the reservation. But to minimize the opposition, those that aren't in favor of us doing that, we can do that by not fishing during the busiest time, that is during the summer.
Thank you, Barry.
Greg?
Where's the opposition coming from?
Well, so there always have been some in the public that don't like us harvesting a sport fish, as in they like to fish lake trout and they don't necessarily accept our objective to reduce their abundance to benefit native fish. I think that kind of resistance will never go away. There'll always be some. On the other hand, I think many people have, that it may be marginally opposed in the beginning, are no longer doing that because, first of all, the sky hasn't fallen as many predicted when we began. Fishing in some respects is getting better. And I think they recognize the importance of protecting native fish. And there's the guiding industry to the north. And they target lake trout primarily. And they have a pretty strong voice in state government. So it's our sense that's where a lot of the opposition comes from.
Okay, so it isn't a matter of opposition coming from not understanding what it is that we're trying to achieve. It's opposition that is coming from, yeah, we understand what you're trying to achieve, but we want to make some money. So to help with restoring the natural fisheries balance to the lake.
That sums it up pretty well.
Tom?
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. I guess my one question for you, as far as when is the best time to come out and look at the operation for the new council members? And I'd still like to try to get the Fish and Wildlife Parks Director here to tour and be when it's fully operational. We couldn't quite figure that out, but I think she's still deeply interested in coming.
Yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't heard that for a while. Well, I know she had interest in seeing the facility, so we would want to do it on the days that we're operating. And that's essentially Tuesday through Thursday would be the best. And we can be flexible. I think any time, we will only be fishing to the south in the summer. And our catch to the south tends to be smaller fish, so the processing isn't quite as impressive. But that would work too. We can do our best to make it happen anytime, I think.
So if tribal council members wanted to come out, they could come out on a Wednesday, check things out like this week or next week, or not this week, but anytime here while MAC days is going on, or
Absolutely.
okay.
As long as we know, so we can be better prepared, you know, it's something we need to schedule.
Bring a cooler.
When do MAC days start?
It's going.
It's going now?
It started mid-March and it will
Oh.
go till the first week of May.
Okay. I would like to schedule a tour.
I'm sure one of the other things about what these guys were after back in the day was these big wall hangers, you know, big, huge lake trout, and you couldn't eat the darn things, and they're toxic. They bioaccumulate mercury and other bad elements out there in the environment, so they're not safe for women and children to eat. But our strategy has been to, you know, get that the edible population of fisheries out there that are safe to eat, that we get that to table fare. And so the concentration for the fisheries program is to do simply that. But you know, to advocate, you know, for large, big, toxic fish out there has been a difficult thing for me personally. But I think we have well enough information out there for the public to know what to eat and what not to eat. But the food consumption guidelines for fish are really important in all of our fisheries. Like we demonstrated a need down in the Clark Fork River, and it's been here, and we try to update that all the time. I know fisheries works on that quite a bit, and it's important that what we're feeding our people is safe, and that's what we're gearing our management towards.
One last thing. Oh, good, Mary.
I wanted to add to that we did a study with the biological station on contamination in fish, especially mercury. And that study will be presented to you. I'm not sure when because the date was recently changed. But when you review the projects that the Scientific Review Board reviews, and they're scheduling those presentations with you soon, that particular study will be included. So you'll be able to see that. And one of the outcomes of that was an early study was done by interviewing tribal members that receive food from food banks. And one of the questions was regarding their awareness of the consumption advisory. And then the same survey was repeated about 10 years later, and the awareness of that advisory had gone up. So we consider that successful.
Evan?
Yes, just wanted to add that we've been trying to keep up with inflation. We've been keeping up on increasing the prices, the amount of the fish that we sell. So we've been increasing about $1 per pound per year now in the last 2 years. And that's just general, keeping up with inflation. Hopefully that we won't see any interruptions in our distribution demands. We haven't so far. So we just need to keep up increasing our prices.
Go ahead, Craig.
Yeah, I guess I don't know if you need a action here for to accept the annual report. That's typically something that we do when a corporation comes in with an annual report. But I just wanted to say that this is I've been watching this from a distance, if you will, as a tribal member in the south side of the reservation. And for a number of years. And I just think that this is a model program, a very innovative approach, trying to do something that is very important in terms of restoring the natural balance to Flathead Lake, doing it in a manner that incorporates non-tribal interests and activities in doing that. And at the same time, producing revenue to help offset the costs of the whole thing. I mean, that to me is it's just it's a very unique, very beautiful program approach, and I very much appreciate it. The last thing that I want to say is when I was a much younger man, I used to fly fish Flathead Lake and catch cutthroat. I'd like to see that again at some point in time for a future generation.
So would we.
Thank you for the report. Did any of the board members wanna? I'm glad that you guys came to support. And is anybody interested in a tour? Do you want them to give us a couple dates that work for you guys, or anybody? Well, I would like to do it in the next couple of weeks. Does next Wednesday work?
Don't have my calendar, but I'm sure we can make it work.
Okay, well, whichever, either next Wednesday or the following Wednesday, just shoot me an email. And I would like to go tour it. All right, thank you, guys.
Lindsay and Chelsea are on. Jamie and executive, please.
Okay, out of regular session into executive session.
We've got it. We're back in open and Len's got one thing here. I think we can start with Greg out of the room.
Okay.
Go ahead, Len.
All right, thank you. Yesterday at the Kootenai Elders meeting, there were a variety of issues that we were discussing. One of them that came up was I informed the Kootenai Elders that the roads department has come in and we did a resolution acknowledging that these roadways, BIA roadways, are going to be taken off of the BIA inventory, roads inventory. So now that they are in tribal ownership, or we're responsible for maintenance of them. And one tribal elder informed me that what we need to do is we need to get some kind of something out in the media acknowledging that these roads are closed to the open public. Because we still have businesses out there, specifically up there in Nirada and Big Arm, that are still saying that their clients, their non-member clients, are able to utilize these roadways. So that's still occurring. So they wanted us to make sure that we were getting news out there and informing the public that these roadways in this management areas will be closed to the open public. So
Thank you for that, Len. And I think Rob comes in Monday and we might be able to pass along a message to Rob, see if we can get communication out there.
okay, and I'll have a discussion with Rob too and let him know that that's coming up.
Thank you.
All right.
And
Yes, Jeff.
the tribal health nurses wanted to know if they could do the half staff for that who, that lady that passed, Andrew?
Miss Andrews?
Yeah, if she could, if Rob can do like how they did for Roy Big Crane, doing everyone email, and I know it's already still at half staff, but they just wanted it kind of in the everyone email.
She was our oldest.
No,
elder there
no, no,
on
no.
the-
We got a 100, somebody's gonna turn 100 here shortly, and they're in Polson.
Okay, yeah,
But she's one of the top 5 oldest of our tribal members.
yeah, 99 years old, I think is what I read, so. I guess consensus to lower flags and have Rob send out a blurb on her impact to
Yeah.
our nations. Yes. But well, the acknowledgement of the flags lowered, yes. And we'll get ready to go into interviews for SNK Business Services. We'll go back into executive for that. A motion by Len to accept Ally or to appoint Ally to SNK Business Services Board. Tom second, all in favor? It's unanimous. There's no further additions for the day. I'd take a motion to adjourn. Motion by Bing, seconded by Len. Unanimous. You guys have a good weekend. Be safe. Stay warm.